All I remember about sex ed is them giving us deodorant and tampons.
I remember that. That was...
And AIDS.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah.
I really like that shirt.
Oh, actually, I could talk about this shirt, too.
Oh, good. Yeah, talk about your shirt.
I saw someone on the subway wearing this shirt. Are we starting? It's rolling?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Me and Ali are almost wearing the same thing.
Yeah, I
had to
decided...
text her on my way here and say, black graphic t-shirt, gray shorts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So then I wore a black graphic tee and then light wash shorts.
Yeah.
So we're different.
Yeah,
Wait, are you wearing white shoes?
No, black shoes.
Oh, thank God.
I almost put the white ones on.
Now people will be able to tell us apart.
Yeah, now they'll know. And because of our very different energies.
Dude, we're like the twins from The Shining.
Yeah.
We just show up everywhere together. We're dressed exactly the same.
And we don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, I know.
Else.
I know. We just show up and we're like, do you remember that stupid thing you did earlier?
We're like a combo of the twins from The Shining and Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Fucking remember the thing. Yeah, you asked about this shirt, eh?
Yeah, tell me about your shirt.
Check this out.
I think it's a good
first,
shirt.
I saw someone on the subway with the same shirt. It's a shirt from a bar called George and Jack's. It's got this naked lady in like a martini glass, and there's bubbles.
Very burlesque.
And her nipples are showing.
Oh, yeah.
I put it on the other day. what was I? I put it on the other day, and I was like, I can't wear that because someone's going to get turned on.
By these, like, illustrated titties.
Cartoon. It's the same as those Simpsons sex emails.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
People get turned on by cartoons. I didn't really take it off for that reason, but that did run through my head.
Yeah,
I was like, somebody's going to get a boner on the train.
Dude, I do the same thing when I have one shirt. I have, like, a Playboy shirt that's not even very sexual. It's just a lady. It's a lady's face, and she, from, like, the nose down.
And
her
mouth's open, right?
She has a stamp on her tongue.
That's right.
That says Playboy. And it's like a cover from like 1969 or something.
Yeah.
And every time I wear it on stage, I'm like, oh God, everybody's looking at my sexy lady shirt and not listening to my jokes.
It's like the same as you wearing a mini skirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Just if there's an image that suggests
it's
sex.
like I was wearing assless chaps.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like that's what it would feel like if I like dressed up in any way to go on stage.
Yeah.
Like if I wore lipstick on stage, I'd be like, I feel like a fucking clown.
Yeah. Sometimes if I have a date after a show and I'm like I've got more makeup on.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is no good.
Yeah.
They're looking at me all weird.
And you're like, God, I'm a fucking phony up here.
Yeah,
everybody thinks that I wear this much makeup all the time.
Poser. Yeah. Trying hard to look nice. But anyway, so then I get on the subway and there's a guy standing in front of me wearing this shirt.
Oh, was he jerking off?
And I'm like, I got a boner. Was he jerking off?
I got a boner.
He wore it, and I looked at him, and I was like, "It doesn't look that sexual."
Yeah. It's like it's very like it's like Sailor Jerry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's very like American traditional inspired shit where there's always like ladies with their tits out, and like I feel like you see shit like that all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's like sideways tits out. It's not front on. It's like what you would see in a side boob shirt almost.
Yeah. No, totally.
This shirt though. I got this because, do you remember when there were flash floods in New York like 2 years ago?
Yes.
And they're real bad. There's one really bad one where all they on the news, all the subways were flooding. It was crazy. You couldn't use any subway.
Yeah.
People couldn't Uber anywhere because you would just like be sliding all over the place. You remember this?
Yes. I lived here.
You're nodding and saying yeah. And I'm like, remember?
Yeah. You're like, Ali, I don't think you get it. You were slipping and sliding all over the roads. Oh, we got to talk about slip and slides
slip and slide. Anyway, so there were these flash floods. We knew they were coming. And we had our show anyway at Ambush, and a bunch of comics came out to the show. It was like a great show. I think because the audience that went there knew that they could get stuck. Yeah. So everyone was kind of in it like, oh, this is
yeah.
We're all in this like war
I
situation.
really did something to be here.
Yeah. And then the flash flood started right as the show ended. And then me and a bunch of comics went to Georgia Jack's. It's around the corner. And we're like, oh, we'll just stay here for an hour and then wait for the flooding to stop. It was only supposed to last like an hour.
I think I was supposed to be on that show.
Maybe.
I think I was.
So we went to Georgia Jack's and the flooding didn't stop for like 5 hours. So we stayed there the entire time. And we got soaked on the way there. So we showed up drenched and then we were freezing.
Yeah.
We started, so then we each bought a shirt just to get warm. I ended up spending like $200 that night. Just like drinking all night. We played Twister.
Yeah.
We kind of like took over the bar.
That's really
We took
fun.
control of the radio. I made them play you know that E40 song, Gouda?
Yes,
I tell
do.
you about the song
where
all
there's
the
the
time.
counting in it.
I love songs with counting.
You do love songs with
It goes
counting.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, 65, 66. Wait, what am I doing? Counting by fives is the best way to count, though.
Yeah, okay.
It's so good. Missy Elliott has a counting song. We don't have to go into this, but there are other good number songs out there.
Oh my God. Welcome to Worthless Clowns.
Welcome to Worthless Clowns. It's a podcast about how stupid we all are. I'm Brittany Cardwell, Bertonis Cardwell on Instagram.
And I'm Ali O'Neill. It's Ali O'Neill on Instagram. I almost changed my Instagram handle to Muhammad Ali Shaquille O'Neal. And then I saw a mama the other day, and she was like, "You can change it to Muhammad Ali. That's fine. I'm telling you, it's fine." I'm like, yeah, I know. It just feels like weird as like a tiny white lady to change my Instagram handle to Muhammad Ali Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I love it though.
Yeah.
If you hadn't already said it 100 times on this pod, I would be like, yeah, do it.
Yeah. No, but now if I change it, everybody will know because everybody listens to this podcast.
Everybody. Yep.
Oh.
It's a big hit.
But you should follow the podcast on Instagram.
Worthless Clowns, Shaquille O'Neal.
Worthless Clown. Muhammad Ali, Worthless Clowns, Shaquille O'Neal is our Instagram handle.
And Britt Cardwell, my dad's name.
And also follow us. We're on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe.
You can just
comment.
literally Google you can YouTube Worthless Clowns and we're the first thing that comes up.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah.
Connor's
we're getting claps
clapping.
from Connor.
Let's stand up for that.
Yeah. Dude, what if I just salute him?
I thought you were going to lift your shirt
What
up.
if I just
the way you
flash
raised
my
your
tits?
arms. Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, Connor.
Andrea, I was at a show yesterday and Andrea Allen was there and she was talking about, everyone's talking about this room where it's really tough and everyone bombs.
What show? Oh, CYSK?
No, well, that's the show I was at, but they were talking about some other show
okay, gotcha.
where it's really hard. Like it's a full room, but everybody has a tough time. And she told me one time she was bombing so bad she couldn't do any. She flashed her tits because it was like the only way out of it.
So funny.
Yeah,
that's so. Did people respond?
I think I don't know.
Did it work?
I don't know. It must have worked.
I would hate if I flashed my tits and it didn't work.
Yeah, and people started yawning.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh God!"
People were just looking at their phones.
Somebody's like, "Get this little boy out of here."
Me and Ali have the same tits, by the way.
We do have the same
if you're
tits.
wondering.
Yeah. And also, this is kind of a stupid story, but so I flash my tits in every photo booth I get in.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, the photo strips, I always flash my tits in there.
Yeah.
And there have been...
We've done it together,
which is how we found out we have the same tits.
Patreon.
Yeah, you can look at... I love talking about the Patreon that doesn't exist.
We should get an OnlyFans where it's just pictures of us flashing our tits in a photo booth.
Yeah.
For the pod, though.
Yeah. Brittany's like, we should make porn, but for the pod.
It's for the pod. It's not porn, Dad.
Yeah. You should eat my pussy and butt, but for the pod. For the pod. But there have been multiple times where I did not.
Can you put this condom on for the pod? It's like not fun.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
But
multiple times you flash your tits.
Oh, I flash my tits in a fucking photo booth, and then I walk outside and I notice that all of the pictures that are taken on the photo booth are on like a huge screen on the outside of it.
I forgot they have those ones.
Yeah, and so I was like, oop.
Only the old ones you can safely do it.
Or,
right?
I mean, but also like you can always see the screen when you walk in. I just always forget that there's a screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh no, everybody in this bar saw my humble A's.
Yeah.
Oh God. Wait, we got.
Oh, it was your birthday.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It was my birthday, and it was a lot of fun, and everybody was really nice, and I really feel really good about all my friends, and I love all my friends. Whatever, it's for the pod.
I knew that was coming. I like my friends. I feel really loved. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Now I feel level.
Yeah. But it was really sweet. I did an ambush, and then you guys got me cupcakes. And you know what I found out this year? That if you blow out the candles, people will stop singing at you.
Right, yeah.
And so I did that.
She blew them out immediately.
I did that at Ambush, and then you guys got me a cake for the bar.
Yeah.
And like we were all at a bar and everybody starts singing and I blew out the candles immediately.
She like ran up to it.
Yeah,
too.
so people would stop singing, but then everybody kept singing because they were all drunk.
You ran up to the cake like it was somebody who was going to shoot someone and you had to stop it. You ran up to it real fast with like such purpose.
But who
and you
likes,
looked pissed.
Literally nobody likes getting
I hate
sung
being
at.
sung to.
I know.
Especially in a group like that.
Yeah, because you just stand there and you're like...
And with comics, it's like, we're all making fun of you while you get sung to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. So then I was like...
You just cut it all out.
Yeah, and then people kept
Go
singing.
home!
There's like a video of me, like I run up, people are like, happy. And then I like walk up and I'm like... And then people stop for a second and then they keep going and I'm like, no, no, no. There's a video of me screaming at everybody to stop singing at my own birthday.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
We should post that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you guys got me a tiramisu, which is insane. And also, good call.
Yeah.
The reason why you got me a tiramisu is because Lizzie, I guess, was like, I saw her order it once at a diner.
Also, we had it once and I was like, perfect.
Yeah. So you guys got me a tiramisu, which was delicious.
Yeah.
And then the best part of the cake was that the cake topper was a wrestling ring with a bunch of little guys in
wrestling
it.
guys.
I loved it.
With small dicks.
So much, yeah. They were tiny guys and their dicks were even tinier. I loved it so much. It was fantastic. You guys are so fun.
Yeah, and then we got our drawing of Betty.
Oh my
wearing a
God.
cutoff shirt with a Rat King on it, which will be merch.
It's a picture of Betty, illustrated. Looks exactly like her. Tyler Snodgrass did a great job of illustrating.
Yeah.
And then it's wearing a shirt with no sleeves. She's wearing a shirt. She's wearing a shirt with no sleeves on it that has a Rat King on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every single part of this is so insane,
Yeah.
but also so me.
There's a toy in her mouth and it's a plumbing snake.
Yeah. And she's on a Comanche warrior.
She's reading the book.
She's reading the book. She makes it halfway through the book and then puts it down and never reads it again.
Yeah. And a chair's being thrown at her. By an abusive man. Now we're talking. Man, we should have got that in there.
Yeah, I know. Dude, you should have asked me to brainstorm.
Your life.
And she has a dead mom in it, too.
Yeah. And all her uncles.
Yeah.
It's just caskets all in the background. Oh, man. The snow is ashes.
Yeah, and you're like, you can see Betty's whole family is dead because of all the dead people in the back.
This is a podcast where we process grief.
Yeah.
Together.
Oh my God. Yeah, but when I did see that picture, I did almost cry. So it was very sweet. You guys are sweet and I love you and fuck you.
Yeah, Allie's not so tough, everybody.
No, I'm not tough. I'm a little bitch.
Yeah.
I'm a little pussy bitch.
You gotta look tough though. Like I have to like I don't know.
What do you mean you gotta look tough?
You gotta look tough so nobody tries to do stuff, you know?
Do you think people...
I don't look tough, but sometimes I just walk confidently so that no one talks to me. You know?
I don't think you have to look tough.
I do.
You have
I
to
give
look
in
tough?
to people. If people talk to me, I give in to them.
Oh. I do too. And I guess I mean, I don't know.
You do look tough.
People think that I look tough, which is insane to me.
I used to be scared of Allie.
Yeah. That's because I punched you in the face that one time, and that's how we become friends.
Yeah. And then you sent me the tits.
Yeah, I punched you in the face, and I was like, sorry about your face. Here's a picture of you with huge tits.
Yeah. Excuse me, I just burped a bunch. Oh man, I haven't drank in only 3 days. Not a lot, right? Not a long time.
Yeah.
I've been feeling real smart. This happens every time.
Yeah.
I'll not drink for 2 days and I'm like, man, I'm thinking good.
You're like, my brain has so much power.
I can't even do this pod. I'm too smart for this.
You age out of the pod because your IQ goes up.
Yeah. Like, this is boring. Can we talk about fundamentals of physics, please? I can do that right now.
Please?
Yeah.
God. You got a stupid story?
I got a story that Allie hates. I told her this story in the car on the way to Boston, and she flipped out.
It grinds my goddamn beans.
Yeah. How's your stomach?
It's
your
fine.
Stomach's all right?
I did wolf down a pound of ground beef and rice right before this, but
are you prepared for this story?
Dude, I was fucking making that food for myself because every night I eat ground beef and rice because I'm trying to gain weight, and also I'm a terrible cook and I just need to eat something. And it's very easy. I don't need to fucking explain myself to you. But anyway, I was making it, and then James came in. He's like, "Are you making food for Betty?" And I was like,
"It does look like
dog food." Yeah. And I'm like, "No, this is for me." And he's like, "Oh god," I could tell he like felt bad.
And James is like, he works at a nice restaurant, and he's very into like fancy food,
and he's very good at cooking.
This is gonna be a regular thing between you guys.
I know, and I'm just gonna be making like fucking like dog shit mush, and then he's gonna be like, he has like making chicken shawarma.
Yeah.
With the whole big thing and everything.
Yeah. He's a good cook.
Yeah.
He made me an Abe vodka, whatever.
Penne alla vodka?
Yes. It was really
vodka,
good.
Whatever. I can't believe I also guessed what it was.
All I could think after that was orange because the sauce.
The sauce is orange.
I feel real smart today. I didn't
vodka,
drink.
Orange.
Anyway, so the story. When I was younger, probably up until I was like 15, 16, 15. I'm
already shaking my head. I'm already having a bad time.
She's not going to look me in the eye during this story, and that's fine.
I'm going to lay down face down on the floor for the entire time.
When I was younger, my tongue was like too attached to the bottom of my mouth. It was like super attached. Right? There's like this cord that attached it.
Oh, okay, but here's my question. How did you know that it was so attached?
I didn't really know until something happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of knew. I think my friend made fun of me. I think Sierra made fun of me. Because I would try and
talk weird?
I don't remember talking differently. I don't think no one made fun of my voice.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was a thing.
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't stick my tongue out far at all when I tried to touch the top of my nose with my tongue.
Yeah. Can you do it now?
That was a big thing in the 90s too.
That was also a big thing. Also
I can't do it, but I think I can get it. Oh yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Tongue twirled up. That's the name of the clip.
Tongue twirled up.
It's such a bad name for what it is.
Tongue twirled up?
Tongue is all folded on the sides.
Yeah, it's like a hot dog bun.
Yeah.
It's like when you have a pig in a blanket and you take out the pig.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
You only eat the pig and your mom gets mad.
You only eat the pig. I also love calling hot dogs pigs.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it was like really attached. I think that's the only reason I knew because Sierra made fun of me because when I tried to do the thing, like I could barely. I mean, I can barely do it now.
Yeah, you still
I also
can't.
have a really fat, wide tongue. But so I think I had there are a lot of factors.
Girth, but no length.
I have a really fat tongue.
But no length.
Yeah,
you do have a stubby little tongue.
It's fat. Let me see yours. Yeah, I can't compare it to mine, but I'm pretty sure mine also has a big, like, I looked at it today for some reason. I was really thinking about my tongue today.
In preparation
I have like
for the story.
big line in the middle. It's bigger than yours.
What do you mean?
You know,
oh, yeah, you got a big crease.
I got a big crease in my tongue.
You have a butt crack on your tongue.
Probably because I did that loop thing a lot.
Yeah, you did it
just
too much.
Folding it up.
And it got stuck that way. You're like, this is the only one I can do because my tongue is too attached.
I got a line like those Ridgeback dogs we talked about.
Rhodesian Ridgebacks?
Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yeah, dude.
So, okay, so it's super attached. Then one day, my life changed forever. I was eating a pear.
Ugh.
And somehow the way I ate it, I took a bite and the tongue just snapped. Like it got released. It just ripped real fast.
Ugh.
And it hurt. It was so painful. It was probably one of the most painful things that's ever happened.
Ugh.
But it was really quick. And then I like ran to the mirror and looked at it. And I just had this like gaping hole at the bottom. Sorry, Ali.
No, it's fine.
I like lifted my tongue up and it was cut.
Ugh.
And there's this gaping hole at the bottom.
And you could see your brain.
Yeah, under my chin.
I don't know.
There's some in there.
You're the scientist. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. And I remember it being like exciting because once it healed, there was like so much more freedom. It was just like easier to eat. And I remember thinking about the tongue a lot and I was glad it happened.
How long did it take to heal?
I don't know. Weeks.
Oh.
It didn't actually seem that bad. I think mouth stuff heals fast.
I thought it takes a really long time to heal. Because it's like moist all the time.
I really don't know, but I didn't like tell my parents.
Yeah. It wasn't like a big enough deal.
And I don't think I had to change what I ate or anything. So I don't think it was like huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like happy it happened. They have surgeries to do that.
Really? And you just did it yourself.
It just happened with a
You
pair.
had a back alley tongue surgery.
Yeah. It's like when you don't know you're in a job interview and then you get the job.
I'm sorry.
Like, I did not know the surgery was happening to me that day. I thought I was eating a pear.
What do you mean you don't know you're in a job interview?
That's never happened to you before?
No, I've never walked into a random office and then they're like, you're hired.
And I'm like, where am I?
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute, you got me.
Yeah, I just like
I'm
stumble
pranked.
in. Yeah, exactly. It's punked, but then you get hired.
Oh, I got the job.
That's like an Eric Andre show bit where they're like,
God, I wish it happened that way.
Dude, they arrest, they like pull somebody over and they're like, dude, you got there's a warrant out for your arrest. And then they're like, what the fuck? And then they like put him in the paddy wagon and then they drive him to the police station. And then like, they're like, do you know why we have you in here today? And he's like, no, I had no idea what was going on.
Because you're an accountant. And like graffiti. Confetti.
Confetti comes out and then you like rip off his clothes and he's wearing a suit under it for some reason.
That's a great sketch. That's so funny.
You're an accountant.
Everyone's clapping today. I can't stop clapping.
Welcome to Cardwell and Cardwell Lawyer Associates.
Yeah. But I've had surprise job interviews though.
What the fuck do you mean?
I've had one for sure. I can't remember if I had another one.
What do you mean surprise?
I didn't know I was in an interview. I thought I was in a meeting, and it turns out the person was considering hiring me.
Wait.
And then I got an email and they're like, do you want to come work with me?
How did you have a meeting with somebody that you didn't work with
It was
already?
like my supervisor of a researcher she worked with. And he was visiting. And she's like, she texted me that morning. She's like, hey, you're getting breakfast with this guy. Oh. And I remember I woke up late that day and I was all scrambled. And I'm like, oh no. And I had to like go tell him about my research and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it was like a regular thing we did all the time.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
I thought it was just we're getting lunch and I had slept in and she caught me. I felt guilty and then I like ran there.
Yeah.
And I told him about my stuff.
Yeah.
And then right after he emailed me and was like, you should come work with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know it was an interview.
This is why I have no idea what you're talking about because this is just this is like higher education stuff that they wouldn't even let me into if I wanted to be in it.
Yeah. Gotta get that reading down.
Yeah, I know.
I meant to tell you at Lucas's wedding, all the roast jokes, like in the speech, were about how he can't read. And I was like, these could all be used for Ali.
Did you write them down?
No, I should.
That's funny.
But the tongue thing, there's one more thing to it.
Oh,
so
God.
It's not gross, though. I was so excited about the tongue. And then we had to do an assignment for school where we're supposed to write about some part of you.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you told me
about this. And I guess I interpreted it as a body part, and other people did too, because one girl did her ears.
Yeah.
And she gave a presentation
while eating a pear.
No, she had door slammed. It narrowly missed her head, but it hit her whole ear off.
A bird.
And she's happy about it.
A seagull flew by and took her ear off.
She got a surprise surgery she wanted.
Yeah. Then she's like, I just feel so much more free.
Yeah. Anyway, she did hers on her ear, and all I remember about her, she gave a presentation. I don't think I gave a presentation. She stood up, though, and started reading her thing about her ear, and then she flipped her hair behind her ear, and she had these really gaudy earrings on.
She, like, loved her ears?
She loved her ear because she thought it was pretty. I like mine for, like functional reasons.
Yeah.
My tongue. But yeah, I did my assignment on the tongue. And how it ripped.
What did other people write about?
I don't know. I can't remember. I only remember the ear.
God, it would be so good if it was like, there was a part of me that was once here and then it went away. It was my grandma. Yeah. And then you're like, dude, I have so much more range in my tongue. I can eat better.
Watch this.
Yeah. Are you impressed?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You got a story?
Wait, what was this? What was the
Muhammad
one?
Ali, Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm changing my name to that legally.
M-A-S-O. Masso.
Masso?
That's just acronyming it for everybody.
Acronyming it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were acronyming it, dude. I don't know. Well, we were doing cartwheels on my roof.
Oh, yeah.
I also had a 4th of July party. It was a big week for Ali.
Yeah,
it was a big week. I also moved.
And she moved.
Yeah, I know. I had my birthday, and then I moved a couple days later, and then that night I had my real birthday party, and then
then you found out you're an accountant.
And then I found out I was an accountant. Dude, I moved to a new apartment, and then I show up, and they're like, "You're an accountant."
I knew it.
And then I had like a 4th of July thing on my roof with just a few people, but we were doing cartwheels, and Brittany blew me right out of the fucking water.
Well,
Brittany,
outside of the horse thing, that was the other big thing I practiced.
Cartwheels?
Cartwheels.
You were really good at them.
Roundoffs.
Dude, round-offs.
Somersaults.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be able to do the back walkovers. Do you know what those are?
Oh, is it when
you
you're...
like backwards?
You're doing
put
a
your
back
arms
bend?
back
And then-
bend. You're
Yeah.
doing a back bend and then you flip your legs over yourself.
Damn, that's fucking nuts, dude.
I can't do that now though.
Anyway, I always thought I was good at cartwheels because I was mostly alone as a child. And then there was one time when we were doing the cartwheels, it reminded me of this. There was one time this is embarrassing. I was at Penn State University.
I thought you were going to say Penn Station.
I was
Like,
at
you're
Penn
embarrassed
State.
to be
And I'm
there.
like, oh God, I
was
can't
getting
let
a
everybody
bus.
know that I took trains. I was at Penn State University because we were there for an improv festival with my improv group from
Oh,
college.
here we go. That's what's embarrassing. Got it.
And yeah.
Clear. Very clear.
Yeah. And then I found out I was an accountant. No. And then I was like, guys, I'm going to do it. We're like,
if you're in an improv group and you always make the story about being an accountant, you know how they hate that in improv? They're like, you gotta have more like different characters or whatever.
Yeah. And then I'm like, these numbers aren't adding up. And they're like, all right, scene, Ali, why are you? And I'm trying to talk about accounting all the time.
And then you're like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. No, it's a song. They're like pissed.
I keep talking about accounting, but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, these numbers aren't adding up. And there's nowhere I can go because I don't know anything about accounting.
Yeah.
But we were like walking around this like their like football stadium or whatever, and I was like, guys, I'm gonna do a fucking cartwheel. And then I did one. And here's the thing: whenever I do a cartwheel, it feels good.
When you did them the other day, you looked like you thought it was fun.
Dude, it always feels like I did it real well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as soon as I do it, everybody cracks up. And I'm like, what? And they were like, that was the worst fucking cartwheel I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, but it felt good. And then I just argue with everybody around me being like, no, but it felt good. And so then I got
sorry. I'm just imagining your cartwheel over and over. The one I saw.
Dude, and like when you guys all laughed at me for doing a cartwheel, that's what it felt like again. I was being embarrassed by my improv group at Penn State University.
I think it looks funny because you're like a little bit I don't want to criticize your cartwheel too much, but I am going to do that right now.
No, you can criticize it as much as you want. I don't straighten my legs at all.
You don't straighten your legs, and then you're not quite like straight up either.
Yeah.
So it just looks like
I'm just
looks
not
like you're like trying to skip over something.
I'm just not doing a cartwheel at all. That's the thing. And then I'm like, but it feels good.
Yeah, it looks way more fun than what I did.
No, but you did yours.
Because we got a video of both, but mine looks boring.
No, yours looks beautiful.
I don't know. I want to do your type of cartwheel.
Oh, you should. Oh, worse. Just do it way worse.
I just want to have fun, you know.
Should we get into the posting?
Excuse me. Yeah, let's do it.
I can't wait to find out which one you picked because you didn't tell me. I'm not being passive aggressive. I really mean that.
No, I did tell you.
Wait, you told me which one you picked?
I texted you. I thought you were trying to like lie to our listeners.
Maybe I didn't read it. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. You did. Sorry, everybody. She did tell me. I'm an idiot.
All right. Throwaway account. There was this guy, 22 male, who I, 20 female, have gone on a few dates with in the past couple months. He's nice, and so far we've only progressed to going, wow, a few dates in a couple months. That's slow, right? Actually don't know what slow and what's fast.
I don't know what few and couple means to her.
Like few is 3, couples 2.
Okay.
Always and forever.
Don't. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Yeah, we're just doing sayings.
Men's warehouse.
I was going to say that. Men's warehouse.
When you're here, you're
like
family.
The way you look. All right.
Oh, God.
that means something. You have to listen to the other episodes.
But also, if she says a few and a couple months could be 2, and then a few dates could be 5, which would be like
that's true.
Less than every 2
5
weeks.
is probably fine. I just like people have different ideas of what's really fast and what's slow.
No, a hundo period.
Like, I think I told you this one time. I was talking to Max Fine, comic, and he had just started seeing this girl. This was like a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
He had just started seeing her, and he was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm worried it's going really fast. And then I was like, oh, why? Like, how often have you seen her? He'd seen her like twice in like 4 months.
That's
or something
insane.
Like crazy. Twice in 3 months maybe, but it was like not fast at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I didn't realize the range was that wide.
I know.
Like,
if I saw somebody I was dating once a month, I would like forget that
I'd
they
be
existed.
like, he doesn't like me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like, God, this is going so fast.
Yeah, he was like panicking a lot.
Gosh, I hate men.
And then I think I was maybe seeing someone that at that time and being like, oh no, are they freaked out?
Yeah. I fucking know, dude.
Anyway, he's nice. So far, we've only progressed to going on public dates. But about a week ago, we finally decided to have a nice date at my place. Since it was going to be at my place, I let him know before that I was on my period because I wasn't sure what expectations he had or where his boundaries were yet. And we agreed to just have a nice takeout dinner and watch a movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Like this communication.
Sounds good. Yeah. It's nice to tell people, you know?
Yeah.
And it's nice to not have expectations.
I tell people who don't even ask that I'm on my period.
Yeah.
Actually, guess what? I'm on it right
hey,
now, baby.
me too.
Of course, we're all
coming out the other side.
What?
If we weren't on, I meant it's almost over.
I know what you meant, but it sounded like it was coming out of your mouth or your ass. You're like, you're on your period too? It's coming out of my ass this time. Weird.
Mine's going out weird.
Yeah. Dude, like you get like, you scrape your knee and you're like, God, I'm getting my period on my knee.
Man, I was at Comedians You Should Know last night. You know Mia Faith Hammond?
Yeah.
She's insane.
She's so funny.
She's so funny. You guys should check her out if you well, I don't know. I was gonna say if you have the time for some reason. You should check her out.
Check her out if you want, even if you don't want.
Even if you don't want. She's so funny. She had this joke. I mean, her bits are all so bizarre, but she was like doing this, period joke, but it's not a period joke. It's like, you know how her and Martin Urbano, it's like all hack topics, but then they do something crazy with it.
Yeah.
Hers just like periods, and then it ended in her being like, JFK, that guy, man, you need a tampon for your head. It was so insane.
I fucking love that. That's so funny.
It's like me looking at my knee and being like, anybody got some panty liners?
Yeah.
Instead of a Band-Aid.
Dude, that's how men think women think.
Yeah.
They're just like, everything's a period, I guess.
Yeah.
God. Anyway.
All right. He comes. If I stuck a tampon in my ripped tongue hole. I show up to dinner and I can't eat. I can only drink.
Stuck a tampon in my ripped tongue hole.
Okay. So this guy, he comes over and we eat and sit down on the couch to pick a movie. When he says that it sucked, I was on my period. I hate when that happens. You know when you're like,
yeah.
I mean, this has only happened probably with
They're
one.
like, I would fuck you if you weren't so gross right now.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, kind of.
Yeah, they just seem pissed that the thing that happens all the time you don't have control over.
Even if you don't want to fuck somebody on their
period.
It's like
you chose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to fuck somebody while they're on their period, it's totally fine. Just don't fucking bring it up.
Don't make me feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug used to do that.
Just means I'm fucking fertile.
Yeah.
You should be grateful.
It means I'm just like working normally.
Yeah.
Okay, he says it sucks I was on my period. Then he said how he thought it was so strange that women give birth through the vagina but have periods from their butts.
Oh my God, I said that earlier.
I know. I was gonna say something with him. It's coming out the other side.
He's like,
it's like Mayday. Like you're on a boat. Oh, we're coming out the other side. It's like, so strange.
Also so funny that this guy is like, God, it's so weird that, like, this is normal conversation for him. He's like, God, it's so weird that babies come out of the vagina, but your periods come out of your butts.
He doesn't.
He's just like sitting there, like, reminiscing about it.
Yeah, it is weird. He's just reminiscing. He also, like, doesn't use, he thinks butt plugs are just tampons.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he's probably really confused by that.
Oh, God.
All right. So this was completely unprompted, the statement coming from him. And I'm still not sure how we got on the topic, to be honest. I asked him what he meant by that. And he said again exactly what he had said before. I kind of smiled, assuming he was very much just joking. And I said, oh, yeah, so weird. Thinking that he was going to start laughing soon to end the joke. He didn't. And instead he started talking about his first and only girlfriend.
Who bled out of her ass the entire time they were together. And then she's like, oh, I'm on my period.
I have cancer. That's what it is.
She's like, she didn't want to tell him.
She thought that was her period.
Yeah. She's like, God, my period's been going on for 2 years. She says terrible hemorrhoids.
And I have no energy.
Yeah, no energy.
He didn't laugh. Instead, he started talking about his first and only girlfriend he'd had in high school and how she used to complain about bad period poops.
Okay. That I understand.
That I get. That's a real thing.
Yeah, sometimes your stomach gets all messed up.
Yeah, you feel like you're having diarrhea.
Yeah.
It's like cramps. But then you do poop. It's weird.
Yeah. Like the cramps are so close to like where you have gas cramps.
Yeah.
That sometimes you can confuse one for the other.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes they just coincide and you poop at the same time that you have the period cramps.
Yeah.
But it's not the period.
Well, I've never shit, but I've heard about it.
At this point, I asked him if he's being serious, and he looks a little confused, and he says he is serious.
This guy rules. This guy is so confidently wrong, and I love that. I love that about him.
I asked him to explain how he came to that conclusion, and he explained that his first experience being around periods was his girlfriend. And remember, I had a girlfriend.
Yeah, he's like, I have definitely seen a pussy before.
And it sucks that you're on your period. I used to say this to her.
It's weird that babies come out of your vagina.
It's weird that your blood is dripping. I can't speak.
It's weird that you're bleeding out of your ass right now.
Isn't it weird how people poop babies?
I know. It's just
if you like really mixed it up and thought that too. Babies and poop.
He's like, isn't it weird that you have an abortion by putting babies back up your butt? It's just like mixing up crazy shit.
They get recycled back in there. And
Isn't
then
it
they
crazy
go
that they have to get a little guy to climb up inside you and then fight the baby in a sword battle?
It's a closed system. Wait, yeah.
Like it's like a boxing ring in your womb.
He just says this like with no.
Yeah, I know.
He's just saying it like to his dog. Yeah. Like when he's not with this girl, he's saying equally weird stuff.
No, he's just saying it out loud.
Isn't it weird how your foot is a little boat, but they make now we've developed and we just use them on land? What a waste. This guy's insane.
Isn't it weird that when you're at a restaurant and they take your plates away, they have to go back and smash them on the head of the guy who washes the dishes? Isn't that weird? The guy who just doesn't know how anything works.
He just writes Snapple facts with he has no knowledge.
I know.
He's like, yeah, this is probably what it is.
Yeah.
He's an alien.
I know.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
He looked confused and then a little frustrated. And he started insisting to me that was wrong. And he kept saying, are you sure? As if I was confused about where it came out of my own body.
Yeah.
I explained to him the anatomy a bit. Jeez, she did all this work.
Dude, she's a saint.
Yeah. And how it worked. And he was very adamant. Eventually, he conceded that most women must have periods like that. But some, hence his ex-girlfriend, have periods from their butts. He won't give it up.
No, he won't. Also, it's very clear that he just got confused about the thing that she said about period poops.
Yeah. He didn't like clarify what that was with the other ex, so then he was like, oh.
Yeah, and then he's just like,
and he didn't
think
through it until this moment.
Yeah. He's just like, sounds right.
Yeah. He just could not understand, no matter how many times I tried to explain it to him, that he had just simply come to the wrong conclusion and misinterpreted his girlfriend's words.
Yeah.
The whole situation became so much that I started to laugh. I was doubled over, clutching my stomach, crying, laughing over this whole debacle. And he sat there red-faced, continuing to try and argue with me. Eventually, he said he was ready to leave and did before we could watch the movie. I felt bad for laughing after he left because I could tell that had been when he decided to leave. And he also texted me later that night to say he'd done a little bit of research on his own. Okay.
I can't wait to. What did he read?
I wonder he probably spent hours.
Yeah.
He's trying to find the one piece that said from your.
Yeah,
he probably
yeah.
started with periods come from your butt, right?
Yeah, that's what he typed in the search bar.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and he was just rejecting the other information the entire time.
And then he lands on like a Christian article that's like, women have periods because God is punishing them.
Yeah.
God is punishing Eve for eating the apple.
I knew girls sucked.
Yeah.
He did a little research on his own and said he was no longer interested in pursuing any sort of relationship because he couldn't stand to be with someone who laughed at someone for not understanding.
He has no sense of humor about
This
being
guy-
wrong. This guy, you dodged a
If I
bullet,
had
girlfriend.
if I had done this and really felt that way,
Yeah.
I would be. I love being embarrassed of
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's very embarrassing.
Dude, I love doing stupid shit, which is why we
Especially
have
when
this podcast.
I don't know about it.
Yeah.
I love being interviewed without knowing it. But yeah, it's only really funny when you don't realize how dumb you're being until just after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy just had too big of an ego. That's the problem.
Yeah, man.
Also, if this guy thinks periods come out of the butts,
Mhm.
then there's no way he's good at fucking.
No. I mean, he's 22.
Oh,
so
yeah. So nobody's. Yeah.
He's got a way to go.
Yeah. No,
anyway,
that's true.
But he's starting way back.
I know.
If he thinks this way and he can't, like, just have a conversation.
Yeah.
He's talking to an expert
Yeah.
on where the blood comes from.
Yeah.
And he won't listen.
And he
and then he Googles it trying to find evidence against what she said.
Yeah.
For hours.
It's so funny, dude.
This reminds
guy's
me.
so funny.
I told you about that time that Doug. I should bleep. We will bleep.
I'll
his
bleep
name
his
out.
name. Yeah.
My ex, the difficult one.
Difficult.
Difficult. Like, it's just a student that's like acting out or something.
Mm-hmm.
One time we were talking about. So when I was like doing research, one of the things I was studying for a little while was like how people will think that they know how something works. That's common, like a zipper, right?
Mm-hmm.
It feels really familiar. You use it all the time, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, like I know about that thing." So you would immediately are like, "Yeah, I know how a zipper works." But then as soon as people start explaining it, they realize that they don't really understand, like there are gaps in their knowledge.
Yeah.
So their confidence goes way down.
Yeah. It's like the Dunning-Kruger effect.
It's related to
It's
that.
kind
yeah.
of similar to that.
Yeah. And that's like a huge thing. It affects everybody. It affects
Yes.
men less than women. Women are more like, oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mean if it
Their
affects
confidence
men more?
drops more. No, women's confidence drops more.
Okay, I see what you're
Men
saying.
remain a little bit more.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't want to date anybody whose period doesn't come out of her butt.
Yeah. Who doesn't think her own period comes out of her butt. Anyway.
I don't want to date somebody with a fucked up body. Some gross fucked up lady whose period comes out of her vagina.
Yeah, some women's periods come out of their vaginas.
Yeah, some gross, disgusting, rude women who tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Their periods come out of their vaginas.
So I was like telling him about this research. I think because he started telling me he could do something. Oh yeah, he was like,
you were saying he could fly a plane?
He said he could fly a plane and land it with no practice, no experience or knowledge.
This is the most dude thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I don't remember where it came from,
Yeah.
but I was immediately like, yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
And then he got mad at me for like questioning the idea that he couldn't land a plane.
Like, what did he want?
No training.
He wanted you to be like, yeah, babe, you can definitely
He wanted me to
land
just
that
be like,
plane.
oh, I'm wet right now.
Yeah.
Or something. Something dumb. So
Babe,
then
you're so hot and strong and can definitely land a plane.
Yeah. So then I started telling him about this research and I was like, yeah, like a lot of people feel this way about a lot of common things.
Yeah.
And they think they can. And then he like got mad at me for not like being loyal to him
Yeah.
and taking his side. And it's
that
just
is
the
what it
same
is.
thing where I was like, I study this and
Yeah.
I know that people misunderstand their own abilities and like,
Yeah.
whatever in this specific way, and he like would not listen.
That's so funny.
I mean, the period thing, it's like you really are an expert in your own period. But,
yeah. And also we have to talk about how the American sex education system failed this man so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you should learn this shit in school. That's insane that he was like, yeah, they definitely come out of the butt. I love this. So funny.
The one more thing with the plane. Then he started claiming that he could build a functioning toilet.
And then you were like, don't
you
dare
know how to make a toilet?
You were like, my name is Brittany Toilet
That
Cardwell.
really did offend me because I was like, you know my family history.
Yeah. He probably chose that to make you more upset.
Maybe. I was like, you could build a toilet that looks like a toilet, but it won't work.
It won't operate in the same way that a toilet does.
No.
Yeah, you're like, I have years of experience in
function.
toilets.
He got so mad. That was like a big fight. That was one of the biggest fights we had.
So stupid.
No.
Like, it's so funny when guys are like, yeah, I could absolutely knock out Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I could. You know why? Because I've watched Creed.
Yeah. And if their girlfriends aren't like, yeah, you could, honey. Like,
I know.
touch
Then
their
they're
arm.
like, yeah.
Then they're like,
how dare you disrespect me?
yeah, you're embarrassing me.
Yeah. God, it's so fucking insane.
Yeah, the sex ed stuff, though. I was talking to someone, a comic recently. It was a date, actually. Well, we got to cut that it was a comic now.
Okay, anyway, Brittany.
It doesn't matter. I was talking to someone recently, and we were talking about, like, masturbating as children.
Yeah.
You know? Which we'll have to talk about on another episode.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of funny stories about that.
Dude, wait, did you hump pillows?
Yeah, I did everything. I was very creative.
I did everything.
And there were a lot of times where I did not think that other people knew what I was doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're like, dude,
I'm just in
sneaky.
the wide open.
Yeah.
Thinking it's like...
And you're just like rubbing your pussy on like the corner of a couch.
And I'm like scheming. I'm like, nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows I'm jacking off right now. And then your parents are like really they're avoiding eye contact.
Yeah.
Hoping that you'll stop on your own. But since nobody said anything, you're just keep going.
Yeah. But so this person was telling me that in sex ed, they like told you about masturbating. That never happened in my sex ed.
Where do you go to school?
I don't know.
Where do you grow up? You don't...
Washington.
Oh.
Same as me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking
weird. But I think
weird.
It varies a lot from like district to district and stuff.
Yeah. The lady who taught me sex ed always wore a helmet in the car.
You told me that.
Her name was Mrs. Abrahamson.
You can't listen to her.
No, yeah. And she was always pregnant, so she either knew exactly how sex worked or had no idea, and I'm not sure which one. And she, like, whenever she would leave, she'd be wearing a bicycle helmet in her car. And then our sex ed this was her, ready? She was like, okay, Sally and Robert, they go on a date, okay? They have sex. They break up. And then now Robert...
But what is sex?
He goes and has sex with Janice.
Yeah.
Okay? Janice, she's a little slut, so she goes over and she fucks
Got it.
Danny.
Janice slut.
Yeah.
That's all you remember from that.
I know. She fucks Danny and then she fucks Steven. Okay? And then over here, Sally, she goes over and she fucks Patrick. Okay? Now let's say that Sally has herpes. Now everybody has herpes.
Yeah.
That was my entire sex ed. That was the whole thing.
Is she drawing too?
Yes, she was writing down the names and drawing and like making a diagram. Also, I shortened it by maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She did that for so long. And then she's like, I have to go. Where's my car helmet?
All I remember about sex ed is them giving us deodorant and tampons.
I remember that was...
And AIDS. I mean, learning about AIDS. I remember that video.
They gave you AIDS with your tampons.
AIDS. Here's some AIDS. Did you get your AIDS today?
I got a rock.
Yeah.
They
said I wasn't ready for AIDS.
Yeah.
One kid
They gave us deodorant, tampons, and AIDS. That's what you said.